Today I'll be reacting to how good was Deion Sanders actually. In my opinion, Deion Sanders is the greatest cornerback in NFL history. So let's go right into the video.
Primetime, Neon Deion, the hype, the athleticism, the biggest moments, and the controversial, brash style that came with it all. Sanders played for multiple teams in his 14-year career and is regarded as one of the greatest professional and collegiate football players of all time. But just how good was Deion Sanders actually? Deion Lewin Sanders was born in Fort Myers, Florida, and immediately gravitated to sports. Surprisingly, Deion wasn't the best player on his 8-year-old football team, but one of his favorite childhood memories was winning a championship with that U8 team. Deion loved sports, and they loved him back, as he starred in 3 sports at North Myers High School. A lot of people don't know that Sanders got his nickname Primetime on the basketball court, and not from the gridiron. After a 30-point scoring downpour in one game, he earned the nickname that would be synonymous with Deion for the rest of his life. Sanders dominated in football.
Wow, so Deion Sanders' nickname came from him playing basketball primetime? See, I didn't know that. Wow, that's actually interesting. But did they say he was a star in 3 sports? Okay, so it had to be football, basketball, and he played in the MLB, so it had to be baseball. It had to be.
The nickname that would be synonymous with Deion for the rest of his life. Sanders dominated in football, basketball, and baseball, named to the All-Century Florida High School football team his senior year. Deion was actually the starting quarterback for North Myers High, as well as being a defensive back. Sanders was recruited and offered scholarships in all 3 sports. It was even drafted.
That's actually crazy. That is actually wild. Like, you hear guys play 3 sports, but actually getting scholarships, most likely D1 scholarships for 3 sports, that's unheard of in high school. Well, I don't know anyone like that. Maybe that's unheard of to me, but I never heard of anyone like that. That is actually insane. That is wild. A D1 scholarship in basketball, football, and baseball, that is wild. Yeah, Deion was him. In my opinion, people like Deion Sanders, it don't matter how much work you put in, it don't matter how much time, it don't matter. People like Deion Sanders, that's just a gift. It don't matter how much work everyone else do. A player like him, that's just a gift. He was born to play sports. That's just a gift given to him. That's just a gift. You can't do nothing with that. It don't matter how much work, how much talent you have. Deion Sanders, him playing sports and him being good at every sport he played, that's a gift. He was born to play sports. I got a lot of respect for Deion Sanders. Shout out to Deion Sanders.
Sanders was recruited and offered scholarships in all 3 sports. Was even drafted to the MLB out of high school. The story goes that all recruiters had to see was Deion nearly hit his head on the rim in a basketball game to be sold on his athleticism. Sanders eventually chose Florida State University because it was the closest to his mother and because they were the only school that would let Sanders play as a freshman. It didn't take long before they found out what the best position for Deion was. It was all of them. As a freshman, Sanders made an impact on the baseball diamond and the football field. Legendary coach Bobby Bowden wasn't keen on playing freshmen, but couldn't keep Sanders' unique talents on the bench. He started in the secondary, but really captivated audiences returning punts. He was can't-miss TV if he could get his hands on the ball. As soon as the football season,
You gotta play Deion. Ain't no way you having Deion on the bench. Ain't no way you gotta play Deion. Ain't no way you make a Deion Sanders chill on the bench. Ain't no way you got him chilling. You have to play him. You have to. You have no other choice.
punts. He was can't-miss TV if he could get his hands on the ball. As soon as the football season ended, he moved to the Diamond, where he was an outfielder for the Knowles World Series team. While Deion was no longer playing basketball, he decided to take up track in the spring. Just as you imagine, he made an immediate impact there as well. By the end of his freshman year at FSU, he pulled up everywhere with a license plate reading Prime Time and was telling the media to call him by the nickname as well. The legend of the fictional-sounding do-it-all athlete in Tallahassee grew bigger and bigger in the next 2 years. Sanders would play a baseball game, tear off his jersey, and run track in the same afternoon. He ran a 10.3 100-meter dash and would become an all-conference performer on the track. In 80.
This is insane. This is actually wild. This video is crazy. So bro got D1 scholarship for basketball, football, and baseball in high school. And then Deion was destroying people in football, baseball, and track in college. This man is different. He's different. What? What? Nah, Deion a different breed. Like, I'm trying to tell y'all, that's just a guy giving gift right there. You can't do nothing with that. That is absolutely insane. He was born to be an athlete. He was. That is actually insane. Now, of course, he put in hard work. Of course, to achieve greatness of Deion Sanders, you have to put in hard work. But I'm saying, like, talent-wise, this man talent, that's just a God gift. The speed, the athleticism, that's just a God gift. Of course, he put in work to enhance it, but you can tell he was born naturally with that.
100-meter dash and would become an all-conference performer on the track. In '87, his prowess as the best cover player in the nation really took hold. He was a unanimous All-American at cornerback, shutting down the nation's best receivers, and was still a terror with the ball in his hands. In his first 3 seasons, he had 9 interceptions. With one, he brought back 100 yards. Deion Sanders' senior year at FSU was one for the ages. His reputation as a cover corner paralleled the greatest to ever play. He picked off 5 more passes to become the all-time interceptions leader at Florida State. 2 of those were house calls, along with a punt return touchdown. After his pick in the Sugar Bowl to seal a win over Auburn, Sanders ran up to the cameras saying, "Bump the Thorpe, give me the Heisman." Sanders didn't win the Heisman, but he was a 2-time unanimous All-American and Jim Thorpe Award winner. Deion's pre-draft process isn't comparable to anybody before.
Hey, Deion Sanders' confidence is through the roof. That man confidence is through the roof like crazy. That's crazy. Hey, Deion was that guy though.
Heisman. Sanders didn't win the Heisman, but he was a 2-time unanimous All-American and Jim Thorpe Award winner. Slot straight into the Atlanta Falcons' lap. But at first, it didn't feel like that for the Falcons.
Wait, what? Bro ran pretty much a 4-2, 4-3. He said, "I'm done." He talked to the team. "Yeah, I'm not going to get drafted that low." No, that's funny. That's funny how they said in the video, yeah, he dropped to 5th. Yeah, he dropped to 5th. Yeah, that's so bad. He was the 5th overall pick in the NFL draft. Nah, this funny. This video is actually hilarious. This video fire.
Hall of Famers, Sanders career.
Man, this video was fire. This man Deion Sanders never been bad. Like this man never been bad. We pretty much got 3 minutes left of this video, and this guy never had a downfall. It just keep getting better. It just keep getting better. Nah, yeah, Deion was that guy. And the crazy part was too, bro was a trash talker, in my opinion. He probably was. And his confidence high too. Yeah, if you told Deion his face he wasn't nice, you'd have looked at you like you was crazy. Nah, Deion was that guy. This man is playing baseball, making all pros in the NFL. This man played in the starting lineup for the Yankees. Like, what is going on?
10 return touchdowns and was twice named the best cornerback in football. He signed with the 49ers next and had arguably the greatest year of his legendary career. He picked off 6 passes, 3 of which he scored on. On just those 6 interceptions, Prime set a still-standing interception return single-season mark at 303 yards. The most notable of those interceptions came on a 94-yard revenge pick against the Falcons. Deion stared down the Falcons' sidelines as he high-stepped into the end zone. Sanders and the 49ers won the NFC Championship, which led to another Prime first, being the only player to play in a World Series and a Super Bowl. Sanders ended up coming up with a fourth-quarter interception in the big game to win his first championship.
I'm telling y'all, it keep getting better. I'm telling y'all, I keep getting better. No, I'm sorry. I gotta go back to that pick six. Was dude looking back at him from like the 40 or the 30-yard line? That is crazy.
First, being the only player to play in a World Series.
Wait, let me go back. That man
Came on a 90. Playing baseball with the Reds, the media and the NFL were courting his services. While filming a commercial for a video game about himself, Deion He caught 36 passes for 376 yards and a touchdown. He did all this while a Washington Redskin.
I'm speechless. I'm speechless. Like, I think Tom Brady is the GOAT. I think in NFL history, I think Tom Brady the GOAT. Lawrence Taylor number 2. Deion Sanders have a great case for number 3. In my opinion, my 5 players is Brady, Lawrence Taylor. Then that third spot is a debate between Deion, Jerry Rice, and Barry Sanders. That's my opinion. Well, honestly, Barry Sanders, he might be 5th. Thinking about it. Yeah, I'll probably have Brady, Lawrence Taylor. Nah, this Deion video crazy. I might put Deion at 3, Jerry Rice at 4, and Barry Sanders at 5. Hey, drop down y'all top 5 players in NFL history below. But those my 5 players. In NFL history. That's my opinion. But man, Deion Sanders though, he got a case for probably being the best athlete ever. And honestly, in my opinion, he probably have a case for being the greatest football player ever. I don't think he's the greatest football player ever, but he definitely have a case for sure. He definitely have a case.
Till 2000, when he signed a monster deal to become a Washington Redskin. But only one season into the 7-year deal, Sanders shocked the football world by retiring. But wait, his story doesn't end there. Deion was just built different, and his time with the Baltimore Ravens proved it more than any of his other All-Pro years. Different ways. It's really impossible to try and compare any other NFL player in history to Deion. It's just
That's what I'm saying. Bro was built different. That's what I'm trying to say about Deion. He was like built different. It's like hard to compare him with other athletes and like other football players because he might be the greatest football player ever. He might be the greatest football player ever. I'm laughing how he signed that 7-year deal that retired after 1 year though. He said, "I got the bag. I can retire now. Y'all could just." That man Deion was happy. He said, "Oh yeah, I'm about to fool them. Oh yeah, 7 years. Oh yeah, after 1 year, I'm out of here." That man Deion Sanders funny. Yeah, Deion hilarious. It really is hard to compare Deion Sanders to other football players though. Like, bro was different.
It's really impossible to try and compare any other NFL player in history to Deion. There's just no one quite like him. Deion himself kind of summed up what it was like to watch him when he said, "Some people will come out to see me do well. Some people will come out to see me get run over. But love me or hate me, they're still gonna come out." So, there you have it. The incredible career of Deion Primetime Sanders. So, what do you guys think? Are we ever gonna see another player as ambidextrous at sports as Neon Deion? Or was he just an anomaly? Let me know in the comments down below.
That was a great video from Nonstop Sports. We're never seeing another athlete again like Deion Sanders. Like, we're not. That man was on another level. Like, he's an anomaly. We're never seeing another athlete like Deion Sanders again. This man was good at baseball. This man was good at football. He got 3 Division I scholarships. This man was good in 3 sports in college. Like, he was a different breed. Like, honestly, I never saw an athlete like that. Like, in my lifetime, I never saw an athlete like Deion Sanders. I don't think we'll ever see another athlete like Deion Sanders again. Like I said, with Deion, like, that's just a God gift. That man was born to be an athlete. He was born to play sports. All he had to do was work on the craft and he was straight. That's all he had to do. He already had the talent. Because based on this video, it just kept getting better for him. That brother never had a downfall. No, that's funny though. Shout out to Deion Sanders. I have a lot of respect for Deion Sanders. So drop down in the comments below your thoughts about this video, your thoughts about Deion Sanders. Do you think he's the greatest athlete ever? Do you think he's the greatest football player ever? Do you think we will see someone else like Deion Sanders again? I'm just curious to see what you all think, and I hope everyone have a blessed day. I'm out.